Yeah, Squish didn't really had many good cards. He couldn't
He's
do much
made
about
2
it.
full houses, but other than that, not much has happened for him.
Yeah,
Which is fine. Like, I'll take that kind of hour and a half of poker anytime.
Of course.
So honest to God, if I did hit him in the eye, like, he had to wear an eye patch for the next 3 400, I would feel like shit.
You should make a move like
So Squish raises it up here to 500, so I assume the straddle here is to 200.
Yeah,
what? Imagine how many people want to watch it.
Nick J going to come
He's
along
got homeowner's insurance. I'll
from
cover
the
it.
$100 straddle.
Splash pot.
And Jeremy's going to defend his $200 straddle.
seems legit.
Hey, what
Let's
do
see
you
the
need?
flop.
I can give it.
Queen 10-7 with the flush draw.
4,000.
I always go back and forth with what to do with Ace King in this spot. I think it's a tricky spot. It's a trickier spot 3 ways than it is heads up. But it always feels so precarious. Having the diamond makes it a little bit easier,
You'll take up all this space.
but still kind of a tough spot. Squish is going to go ahead and bet. And this does look likely to be successful, although we'll see what Jeremy does.
Yeah, he has his options open. He can raise, he can call. I would like a raise better than a call.
Yeah, I don't think because you don't hit that. Well, never mind. Just ignore us. I was going to say you don't hit the 9 enough to make that worth it. Yeah, and this is not a card where Squish is going to put in any more money unless he gets there.
Oh.
I think even on the ace, he's unlikely to put in a whole lot more.
Oh, God.
How about turning the ace king into a bluff here with the nut blocker?
Is this a jackpot?
Yeah. I don't know if Jeremy has enough behind to really pull that off.
No.
Knowing Squish, I
he
bet he
has.
wants to.
I think he has enough. I mean, 3,000, that's 3,000 behind the 1,500 bet, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think it's enough. And you block the flush, you block the king jack. So,
Till tomorrow, Kenny.
Yeah.
feels weird to bluff with top pair, top kicker, but I think, I don't know Squish very well. I played a few times with him, but he might seem the type of player who might be capable of
What'd I do? Yeah.
pulling out such a
Wasn't
play.
as good as this.
He lives to do stuff like this.
Me and Mark were bored
but
out
he-
of our gourd.
Yeah.
All in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, here we go.
All right. This is definitely the most fun possible action on the river. I love this.
Oh.
Yeah.
And this is a bluff, to be clear.
Yes,
Mark
definitely.
knows he's bluffing here.
Definitely. I love it.
Jeremy's just in a brutal spot, trying to figure out whether Squish would check back a flush draw,
After
this hand, it's Jeremy's last meal.
whether he would check back King Jack on the turn.
Yeah, man, you get.
Literally, we ordered from there, like my daughter was there.
No shit.
What are you thinking here? You don't have the jack of diamonds. You don't have the 8 of diamonds.
I think it's just going to feel like a spot where it's less a matter of what combinations do I have. He knows it's a bad spot.
Yeah.
He's just thinking, these are the chips I have behind. I have a straight. Do I really want to stick it in here?
Now I think it gets back to the history these two might or might not have together, and he might take a decision based on that. But yeah, I think you have to fall here, right? Even against aggressive players who are capable of pulling such bluffs, I don't think they have enough bluffs, right?
Oh, that's sick. He does get the fold. Very nice pot for Squish.
He doesn't have a bluff. It's impossible.
He doesn't have a bluff. It's impossible, she says.
Oh, and he showed the ace.
Oh, that's great.
Wow.
Oh, it's just ace king?
At this point, he knows he had the best hand.
Yeah, that's what happened. He has the king of diamonds.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, and Jeremy says he has
I
the
did
king
not
of diamonds,
think you had it
correct?
in you, and you had the king of diamonds.
course.
No? Yeah, you did. Okay, that's sick.
Good bluff.
No, let's say-
I mean, you have the king
Squish.
of diamonds.
Squish really knows how to.
Great poker.
That's really good poker, and it's a spot I probably wouldn't have taken just because I would assume that Jeremy would be unwilling to fold given how little he had left behind.
I have no
That's
money.
why I think.
Seriously?
I only had very little money.
Kelly's like, I don't want to play with no broke.
Listen, I'll gamble with you in Scottsdale any day of the week.
I don't
She doesn't
play
go
in
there.
Scottsdale.
She already
Won't be
said
action that
she
bad.
doesn't want to be able to only bet
No, I
200
like you. I
on
want
the
you to
river.
stay in the game if you bust. That's all I was saying.
That's what it is. She told me that too.
Took all my money.
Go anywhere.
I thought it was just me.
They play quarter there. That's probably enough to, big enough to, I mean.
Quarter where?
Scott's that
I don't want too
Limit?
many colors, only two.
What's happening here? Is that a double strap, triple strap
All right.
to 200?
Raise, call.
straddle. Raise, call.
What a game. What a time to be alive.
All right, so we have a double straddle.
They have a quarter game that plays.
Francisco King Jack suited in the straddle, and Squish has aces again after a few limpers.
He is
Israel too?
So
getting into some big spots tonight.
Squish.
Already $1,000 in this pot.
Making us nervous.
I should make it at least that amount, probably like 15 or something. 11.
Now what, you donkeys? What are you going to do?
That's pretty small, but there might be a case for it based on some of the stacks at the table.
Yeah, it's what we were talking earlier. It's you have to pay attention to so many different stack sizes and adjust accordingly.
Just because Nick.
He is going to get some
Wow,
action here.
Francisco, no
And
messing
we see that
around.
he might not have had he sized it
Yeah.
much bigger, I think.
Only because Nick called us now.
Julie now feeling compelled to call with Ajax suited as she underplayed her hand, so
Wow,
to
this
speak,
is
just
crazy.
calling
Now no one believes.
with Ace Jack.
Man, I guess I
Lock
can't
the doors.
fold this hand.
So Jeremy's going to come along too, so we're going to go four ways to this
Kelly?
flop.
Are you lucky?
Squish is going to take some variance here, no matter what happens, but I think he's probably fine with it.
Thank you.
I think he probably anticipated this to a degree.
You're
For your
welcome.
cooperation.
Oh, Jeremy folds. Never mind.
But still, three-way.
Yeah.
So flop. Oh,
Jeremy.
Very good flop.
That's not where that's not. Yeah, I was like, that's
Jeremy would
not
have had two pair.
where- That was a circus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But he folded, right?
I believe he folded.
Great movie.
And
It's
Julie's
the
going to like this
fucking
flop a
best. I
lot.
always tell that's one of my favorite movies ever. It's so
Squish
good.
just checks.
Anyone who
Interesting.
loves food like gets it. It's so good. It's just a
Oh
great.
no, Jeremy did not
everything
fold.
about
Jeremy's
it.
still in
has
there.
cards. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
wow. So this could get really crazy. It looked like he moved
Oh my
he moved
God,
his
so
cards
good.
forward
Yeah.
and took his
yeah,
bet
yeah,
back.
yeah,
I wasn't sure what happened there. He let someone see his hand, but he's definitely still in this hand.
So Julie just limped pre-flop, and then
I believe she called a raise.
I think it was a
Big
double
pot.
straddle.
Oh, I see.
Everyone
Okay.
relax.
The 200 from Francisco.
And Jeremy moves in, and now Squish is in a disgusting spot.
So yeah, Julie leads. Jeremy moves all in for 7,000.
And
Yeah, and you still have Francisco behind. He shouldn't be worried too much about him. Yeah, it's a weird spot. I don't know. Can he fold this?
Why the fuck are we in the top?
Given the fact that it's Jack 3-4 rainbow,
True.
it's less likely for them to have bluffs as flush draws or draws.
yeah. And so Squish is maybe thinking how much Jack X is out there among these
Exactly.
three players, and would Jeremy really just go crazy with Ace Jack here?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he would. Maybe he would.
One pro,
What's the
three
last tattoo
donkeys.
you got?
She said.
Three fish.
both of these players, Julie and Jeremy, could have pocket 3s and pocket 4s.
Right.
And 3-4 suited.
What's the first?
The first one was
Yep.
this, the initials of my wife and girls.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And when you have aces, you block ace-jack, which is the hand you hope Jeremy has, or Julie, right?
Right.
So I think here it's better to go all in with pocket kings rather than aces.
Yeah, he does
I
move
think it
all
has
in.
more equity against their ranges.
Swish moves all in. It's hard to fault him, but he's just in a gross spot here.
Whoa, whoa. If he,
Especially because, as somebody pointed out in the chat, I mean, the fact that Julie and Francisco both have jacks really cuts down on the ways that Squish can potentially get there against Jeremy. So
Yeah.
bottom two pair is much less vulnerable than it typically would be against aces here.
Now Julie has a decision as well, but I think it's
I think this is a more clear fold.
yes.
We'll see if she can find it.
She's looking up, finding, searching for some inspiration from somewhere. Yeah, she makes
Good fold, yeah.
what you pull?
What
you pull?
Two times.
Two times.
There's only one jack available for Squish to get there.
And only one ace also.
Yeah, queen.
Yeah, and the 9, 9, 8,
Jeremy wins the first board. And the second board.
7, 8.
How sick are we in Swiss?
So yeah, that is a $20,000 pot that's going to go Jeremy's way.
Like, you need a shit.
And this might go back to Squish's fairly small free bet sizing, or fairly small raise sizing
Yeah.
pre. And
So gross.
when you do that, you induce action, but you also create variance. And a lot of times that works out great. And this time it did not.
Yeah.
I thought you had 5-6, honestly, until I remember I looked.
Till I remember.
Now, Jeremy showed that he. I mean, he didn't show a willingness to gamble that much. Like we've seen a few folds from him. So that might go into the decision to fold aces here, right?
Maybe, although I know that Squish has a pretty extensive history with Jeremy as well.
Yeah, that I don't
I'm
know.
gonna add
And
4K.
also maybe
Oh, the
there are
purple,
times
the
when
5K?
players just reach a breaking point and they're not willing to make hero folds anymore,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Yeah,
might be willing to
it's
sort of stick
easy-
it in.
It's
and,
easy for me to talk.
Right. I mean, I know from just
Right.
commentating and playing a little bit with Jeremy that he is not a nit in really any respect. So
Yeah.
Okay.
I got it.
so this was not an easy
Yeah,
spot
Patrick,
for
calling
Squish at all.
Patrick, come bring in the alarm system.
Definitely, if you fold aces here,
Everyone
what
has
else
to
are
have
you
money
calling
now
with?
'cause they know they
Right?
have
You're
to stack.
basically folding everything.